we're back on 94.7 FM, The Gospel Giant, and I am here with Mr. Futrell and Mr. Nance, and we are talking about black men in America. And I wanted to ask you guys about the racial, social, educational, trauma, all of these disparities with black men. How would you say we can rise above them?
Well, in order to rise above anything, it takes momentum to lift up.
Okay.
You fall on the ground right now. It's gonna take some strength to get up.
Mm-hmm.
So to rise socially in America as a black man is something that carries double the weight, double the distance, and there are terms and conditions for the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, for instance, I had to go get a master's degree to really feel comfortable enough as a black man due to all of the disparities I've already been through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. It takes toll on you. And in other words, what does it even look like to finish? What does it look like to get to the finish line to be a black African American male? Some of us don't get a chance to get a degree. Some of us, the finish line that we haven't seen the finish line yet. Some of us are blessed to see the finish line, like in a race.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us we don't even have the strength to run the race. And also to rise up socially, it's just like what Doc said. You got to examine. First of all, that person that you're mentoring, you're trying to help rise up, they got to examine themselves. The same way you're examining them, they got to come to grips about their strengths and weaknesses so that whoever that person mentoring or helping them, they can understand how to apply the strengths perspective to that social change they may need. To change socially, that means that you're changing the way you walk, you're changing the way you speak, you're changing the way you think. Your ideologies are not the same. You're creating a whole different diaspora of learning about yourself, so you can understand how to carry yourself and create longevity for yourself. And it's a needed thing amongst black males because it's like each one teach one, and at the same time, I can't leave you down there on the ground if I know you need help. If I got the know-how to help you get up, and I help you up, and I convince you. One thing about convincing somebody is that you're making it convenient for whoever it is the benefit is going to. Well, we've already been through the trenches. So if I'm trying to convince you to conveniently change your life, because your life is an inconvenience to yourself, then it's important that you take this help and you run with it, and you examine yourself in the help so you can run with it. Versus, ain't nobody helping me, or I don't know where to start. Well, there's people out here that can show you how to start. There are organizations out here that are in place, whereas we take steps, but you got to see the goodness in yourself as well, socially. And as far as racial prejudice, in order to rise above racial disparities as a black man, you must understand the times. You must understand the eras of blackness. And you must understand your own diaspora of blackness in yourself, your own world of blackness. Do you understand the world of blackness in yourself? Outside of historically what black is, what it means to be black, what it meant to be black for somebody else in the past, what it means to be black right now, what it means to be black in the future. That should be something embedded in your spirit. And the other thing is this. Black males, we have to deal with the elites. We have to deal with the masses. So it's like you can't can't compare with the masses. The masses gonna always be there. The elites gonna always be there. The government gonna always be there. So when you have a system of a hierarchy that you can't do anything about, all thing you can do is better yourself.
What about the trauma, the educational disparities?
I think, in my take on education as it is today, I think schools are too large, and I mean specifically for black males, because communities, there used to be K through 12, one school. You went to school basically for 12 years with 95% of the same people. Families were not as transient. They lived in the same community for a long time. So you grew up around a lot of people. So you absorb personality, well, that's so and so, that's how that is. Well, students live in transient environments, and a school with 1,500 students in it, it's a lot for them to absorb. I keep them in small groups. We don't go over 12 in the class because they work better in small groups. Small unit management.
I think that applies to education across the board.
It does, and specifically for black males. And I think reducing the sizes of schools, not just classrooms, schools, helps black males. Not that they're inferior, they grew up in a different environment.
Right.
So you need to school needs to evolve with the student population. And I don't think in that aspect it really has evolved. And I think, we say skip school, get educated. You need to get educated in whatever field it is, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you want to do, you need to become educated. So this requires developing an aspiration and a hunger in our students to learn again. Well, they'll learn about what they want to do.
That's true.
And we find out what they want to do. I create curriculum around what they want to do. His entire individual curriculum is designed by what his business statement is. If it changes, I can adjust it because in principle, there's some fundamentals to education that doesn't change. I don't care what you want to do. You got to read, write, and know some mathematics. You have to know how to research and do some other things. So simply, that's the same. So based on his interests, I can make adjustments. So I just think that's why we have to. I say forget school, take our students back. Yeah, take our children back, and then you can teach them. Based again, they are totally involved in the learning process. And in a small group, I don't go to Algebra 2 unless everybody's got Algebra 1. And at YMU, everyone has a teacher's manual. So why we got teacher's manual? Because if you can't teach the course, you don't know it. Now, I've given you all the answers. Now you got to tell me how you got the answer.
Right.
And in knowing how you got the answer, you are now a professor. You can teach this. Now I know you know it. That's why our ACT scores reflect that. Right. The ACT is not a magical text. It's taken from standard curriculum. So if you're not teaching them this curriculum where they're learning it, and they can't teach it to you, nobody really can be assured.
The hows and the whys.
No one is assured of who knows what.
That's right.
Well, teacher, you got the teacher's manual. So you look at it and tell me I got the wrong answer, but do you know how you got the answer? So I teach them in that method. It works better, and under the umbrella of them building their own. This is what CEOs do. They learn. Everything they're learning is about building up their company, their vision. So I think that's how we overcome, or just one method. I certainly don't think I'm the answer, but I think I have an ingredient that may work in the gumbo. So that's how we overcome the disparity of education. Who are you despairing? This is your place. I'm not in disparity about redlining. This is your place. So I take ownership, and it creates good academic citizenship as well. So that's just my method. I'm not blind to all the racial, all the disparity, but I'm not going to let the disparity stop me.
So what advice, about 30 seconds each if you could, maybe a minute, what advice would you offer young men that will come behind you? And when you speak to that, maybe talk about, because I've heard you guys talk about very early on in the show that these young men aren't going to want to share with, they might share with the gang member in terms of communicating. How do we make it safe for them to talk about, how they're thinking, what they're going through, maybe before we get to the point where we see them on the news.
I think way before they pull the trigger, way before they get too involved in street life, they should examine themselves and they should examine what they see every day. They should examine their surroundings, and they need to ask themselves, is this something that I want to continue to do every day? Do I want to wake up and go to bed to to violence in my community every day? Are there ways for me to escape this? Am I obligated to be in a gang? You're not obligated to be in a gang. Gangs don't make you be in a gang.
Well, I think everything's a tool. And when you're talking to our son, tears are tools. And when you're trying to share with a young man from your mistakes, and it becomes such an emotional event, that tears stream down your face, because all I wanted was better for you. I tell you, we got to speak the words of endearment, that you're better than I am, son. I don't want you to make the mistakes I made. And it's got to be filled with passion and emotions for all the tough guys. You got to see that in you. So all I wanted for you was just to be better. I don't want you to go to prison. I don't want you to get shot. I don't want your mother dusting off your picture after you got killed. I want something better for you. That's why we arguing, fussing, and fighting, because I wanted something better for you. And from a scriptural standpoint, the Bible says you can't be mad. We can't fall out now that I tell you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You can't be. And then we got to tear down the walls. You know, I have gang members at the house. We sitting down. They come. Folks be saying, boy, they so marriable. What else they gonna do over here? Hey, okay, but I don't have no walls with you. You
Right.
can be here. I ain't so
Right.
big that you can't call me. We're supposed to help children, and they can't call you. Well, you have to go through. Nah, man. When they say I couldn't get a hold of you, that's a lie. You got every number I got. And you call my aunt, my wife. You can call everybody looking for me, because you're that important. And I think we have to enhance in their hearts and minds how important they are to us.
Yeah.
I love kids, and I tell people, you love kids as much as you love Jesus and Allah. If somebody say Jesus, you in love, but these kids, you're gonna say the same thing. You got to equate that out, because Christ got irate when they tried to prevent the children from coming.
Guys, I've enjoyed it. It's so much that we didn't cover. I hope that we'll get to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get to talk
Part two.
again. Absolutely. But thank you both for being
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
Thank you guys for being here on The Gospel Giant on Doctor to Doctor. We will see you next Saturday at 2 o'clock. See you next time.